since there's like 12 of us on here, I want to try something different. Now, I created an outline for a training session that I was going to do today. And I'm going to tell you what I was going to teach today, and then we're going to try something different. Today, I was going to talk about how to be a trusted professional in your market and not just an order taker, right? I call like, so I have this thing where there's agents out there that I call the number twos, right? Why do I call them number twos? Because for the longest time in our lifetime, you can go to McDonald's and order a number two, and it'll always be 2 cheeseburgers, medium Coke, medium fries. The only difference on the number two over time has been go large, go larger. I don't know what else they got, right? And so
Super size.
super size. Oh my God, you got super size now? Boy. So so as you can tell, I don't eat much McDonald's. I don't even know. But I know number two has always been the number two ever since I was a kid, and probably long before that, right? And so I call it the number two because you can walk into McDonald's. All you have to say is, I'll take a number two, and the person behind the counter doesn't even have to think. They just punch it in the computer. The person in the back doesn't even have to take 2 cheeseburgers, fries, Coke, then they give it to you. At any point in time, do you think the person at the counter is going to say, so how did you enjoy your number two today? They don't give a shit, right? They don't care, right? At no point in time is a McDonald's manager going to call you and say, hey, listen, I know you were here the other day and you ordered a number two, but I really think you would love our number four. You should try that the next time you come by. Never. It's never going to happen, right? And so there's a lot of real estate agents out there that I call number twos, where every person that they work with is a transaction and a number, just rolling through people. And the problem with that is that when you roll through people like that, okay, you don't create relationships, you don't create rapport, you're not a trusted professional. You're just an order taker, right? These are the same people that have no idea what the contract says, because they made it too easy for us. They made it fill in the blank. They just need to know where the name goes, where the address goes, where the parcel number goes, where the price goes, where the deposit goes, where the closing date goes, where the contract date goes, and where everybody needs to sign. That's it. They don't need to know anything else. That's where the limit is. Okay? So for the number twos out there, good luck in your business. You'll always be chasing it. You'll never have repeat business because people will forget who you are, right? And one day you're going to burn out and there'll be nothing left. Or you can be a trusted professional, someone who actually cares about the transaction and actually cares about the movement of the transaction. And when somebody cares about the movement of the transaction, they care whether or not this person gets into the house or not. They care whether they get a good product or a bad product. They care whether or not the construction is done right or wrong. They look at inspections and give sound advice rather than saying things like, I've seen this. Nah, that's no big deal. Don't worry about that. You can just fix that later. Then 2 months down the road, this person's got water coming through the roof on a rainstorm. But they don't care because they got their closing money and rolled out, right? And so I wanted to talk about being a trusted professional, what that meant, how to have a professional mindset, positioning yourself, effective communication, providing value past the transaction, things like that. However, since there's 12 of us in here and we can actually talk like a mastermind, I'm curious to know, what topics do you guys feel are important right now that you would potentially want to cover? I'm going to do this like open format. Now we could go through some of this stuff, but I want to know from you guys, like, what's your ailment, man? What's pissing you off right now? What are you seeing out there that's affecting your business? What do you need help with right now? Imagine one of you come through and need help with something and everybody else goes, oh man, thank gosh, I said that, you know?
I can say something.
Sure. Betty, go.
Teams.
What is it?
Teams. like how to work with teams, how to manage a team, what will be the best thing to, like if I have a big team or a small team, how will be the best way to actually lead your team? Anything about teams. Because teams today is not the same as teams a few years ago.
No, they're very different.
Mm.
They're very different. All right, who else has a topic? This is gonna be like speed dating.
I can just say, David, how to get the buyer off the fence with the interest rates. That they are what they are.
Okay, buyer contesting rates. Or we can say rate objections.
Yes.
Okay, what else? Anybody else got something they want to put in there? Come on, Courtney, I know you got some.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I do. I was getting ready to click the button. It goes right back to rates. I've talked to a couple of sellers who were kind of on the fence. I'm picking up a listing. Hopefully I'll get it signed next Tuesday. Guy's actually got a good rate, and nobody talked to him about advertising his 3.2 interest rate as an assumable VA loan. You know, so there's some things when we talk to people about, especially for listings, is what's that interest rate? All the buyers know what it is because they're all scared, but the sellers can use that as a leverage tool.
So I'm going to go agent / seller knowledge. Agent / seller knowledge on moving property faster. Based on rate. I love that, by the way, because I don't know if you saw me teach it about a year and a half ago, where I started talking about assuming VA loans, and a lot of people didn't know you could actually do that. And as long as you look at your mortgage and the document says your loan can be assumed, it is an assumable mortgage, you can actually set it off as an assumable mortgage. The problem that we're seeing in some of these, and the reason why I haven't been doing a lot of them, right, is because the gap of profitability that some of these sellers, like, I have $1 million in equity in my house. I have a 2.7 interest rate. I'm sure someone would love to assume my mortgage at 2.7%, but they're going to have to give me $1 million in cash, right? And so that's going to be hard to find, right? That's going to be real. And I'm a VA loan. So, you know, the number of veterans out there with $1 million in cash to buy a $2 million property, they're going to be, you know, just not, it's going to be small bucket of people, right? And those small bucket of people are smart enough to leverage it in a different way.
Yeah, right. I ran across it as a guy, he's getting ready to, you know, he's in a bad way, he may get foreclosed on. So I'm peddling that rate to some investment buyers who can go in and assume it.
Nice. All right, so I just wrote 3 twice. 4, Marlene came in the chat. She said, talks of recession on the news holding many back. The damn news. Okay, I got a couple answers for you on that. What else, guys? I hate the news. Anybody got anything else they want to chat it up? I see some names in here. Come on, Virginia, Teresa, Megan, Michelle, Sophelia.
Hi, David. It's Teresa. I guess for me, you know, I'm not a newer agent, but I am still just new in the game. It's still building out my database. I wasn't raised or born in Miami, so I'm still just hustling to get leads.
Okay.
Scale my business.
Building the database. All right, that's going to be a fun one. Okay, that's what I'm going to take. Because what I'm going to do is speed date all 5 of these topics. Y'all with me? Okay. All right, let's have fun with this. This is fun for me. I'm awake now. This is like a cup of coffee. All right, so teams. Let's talk.
You got muted. Sorry.
Better?
Yeah.
All right.
Yes.
Awesome. My mic got disconnected. I move it around too much. All right, let's do this. Okay, so with teams, let's talk about teams real quick. Betty, that was your question, right? And I don't know if some of you want to build a team, don't want to build a team, but when I teach teams, I encourage everybody to come. Why? Because it does two things. It teaches some folks how to build a team and how to expect to run it. And it teaches other folks what to expect if they join a team and to understand why it operates the way that it does, right? Because sometimes team members come into a team and they see like big splits and this and that. And, you know, why do I have to pay so much of my money to this team leader? Although they're on the phone calling their team leader 17, 18 times a day, trying to get mentorship and training, right? And help with contracts and everything else, but they want to do it for free. And so we forget something very big. And I think this is very important for both team members and team leaders to really, really internalize. Okay. And that is that mentorship is everything. Mentorship is everything. We live in a world where there's so much information out there that we think we can learn how to be a heart surgeon on YouTube. And by the way, you probably could. I don't know who's going to be your test subject, but you probably could, right? Like Sonia's not me, not me, right? I don't know who your test subject is going to be, but you probably could. You probably could learn on social media and YouTube and everywhere else. And by the way, that's fine. If you want to do that, so be it. But here's the key. Personal mentorship is a game changer. 1000% a game changer. I have 3 mentors in my life, right? I got 3 mentors in my life I believe in, I can call on, I can ask questions. By the way, this is me, 3 books, at least a couple hundred stages, 20 years in the real estate industry, 11 years coaching, 10 years in title. This is me after all of this and all this experience that I bring to the table. And I'm still saying I have 3 mentors I can reach out to and I believe in and I trust and I need. I just added a 4th mentor, by the way. His name's ChatGPT. It's incredible. Okay. All right. Like Betty was in my office yesterday. We were talking about ChatGPT. Let me tell you something. Me and ChatGPT had a very personal conversation like 2-3 days ago. I cannot begin to tell you how much information I got out of that. It's information at your fingertips. And by the way, I asked ChatGPT to please act as my higher self in combination with becoming my mentor. So ChatGPT acted as if I had already reached all my goals and was mentoring me from a higher place. Come on, guys. What are we doing here, right? But here's the thing. When you join a team, a lot of people join a team because they say, number one reason, I want leads. I want leads. That's why I want to join a team, because I want leads, right? Well, I deter those people on my team. How do I deter them? My team agreement literally says, if you join my team, you will not receive leads from me until you have closed 2 personal sales of your own. And if you don't do 2 personal sales in the first 90 days, you might be subject to release from my team. That's my team agreement. Why does my team agreement say it in that language? Number one, I don't want people coming here for leads. I want people coming here because they believe in our mission and what we're trying to accomplish and create. I don't want people coming for anything else, right? That's number one. Number two, I don't want the bloodsuckers. Just don't. I don't care for it. So, Dave, what's your split? 50-50 on everything I provide. So team leads. And then I have a scaling version on personal stuff. So on the personal side, I go 50-50 to 2 million. And this resets every year. 50-50 to 2 million. 60-40 between 2 and 4 million. 70-30 between 4 and 8 million. And then 75-25, 8 million and above. These two come with extra perks. When you hit $4 million in sales on my team, I get you a part-time assistant. When you hit $8 million within a year on my team, I get you a full-time assistant. Also, when you hit 4 million on my team, it opens up the opportunity for you to be a mentor. And as a mentor, we will place agents under you, and those agents will close deals, and you'll earn a 5% override on everything you mentor them on. So not only do you earn more commission because you're closing more deals, but you earn a 5% override on the business that the people you are in charge of mentoring help. Why do I do it this way? Because I had an epiphany one day. First of all, if people join you for the money, they will leave you for the money. They join you for the leads, they will leave you for the leads. If they join you because they believe in your mission, they will leave you when they're ready to fly on their own. They will always leave you. It just depends how they leave you. And so when I look at this and I said to myself, I've been reading, I come from old school real estate where teams didn't really exist. And then Gary Keller came up with something called The Millionaire Real Estate Agent. And that red book became the Bible of real estate. Didn't matter what company you're at, but it was the real estate Bible. And the real estate Bible had this theory that there were 7 levels of growth in real estate. And as a real estate agent, you actually had to feel like a business. You had to think like a business. And when you feel and think like a business, right, that means that you start solo. Then when you get too busy, you hire a staff member. That's level 2, right? And then that staff member takes all the paperwork and marketing and stuff off your plate, giving you the opportunity to go get more sales, which theoretically is supposed to help you grow by 100%. So you're supposed to be able to double your business by hiring one assistant. This is true. I've seen it over and over again with my coaching clients, right? Then that grows into getting buyer's agents, listing agents, more staff, transaction coordinators, etc. Then you grow a team, and you're in charge, and you bring in a team captain or a team leader. Hopefully that person grew with you through the ranks. They run daily operations with the staff. You're just oversight. And then one day you replace yourself, level 7. And your team is fully operational, but your team captain or team manager becomes CEO of your team. You pay them a handsome salary. By that time, they probably want to be off the streets anyway, right? You pay them a handsome salary and you tell them, you've been with me for X amount of years. You know how we run and operate. So I'm going to need you to take over. And level 7 means you go to the beach and you make money. Level 7 means you move to Italy and you make money in America. That's what level 7 is. Whatever you want. It's legit retirement. So as I was looking at this and I thought to myself, as time went by, this system sound, yet the middle parts were outdated. And the middle parts were, I need these agents to be buyer agents, and I need these agents to be listing agents, which means listing agents can't work with buyers, and buyers can't work with listings. And if the buyer has a listing, they need to send it to the listing agent, and that listing agent is going to give the buyer a small percentage. And I was like, no, we want to make money. Every agent wants to work both sides of the deal. And by the way, if one of my agents pulls in a listing, they're going to host open houses and that gets them to meet buyers. And then they go work with those buyers, and some of those buyers might have a house to sell and they'll list those too. So why would you split the two? And then I thought to myself, team structure. The team structure that it taught, it made sense for the time, but then it stopped making sense for a little while. And I said, well, what team structure is going to make sense? And I remember sitting with my wife in my office, whiteboard in hand, not this one, not this cool one, like a whiteboard that you had to like erase with alcohol, right? But like whiteboard in hand, ready to go. And I go, you know what organization has been around for thousands of years and has always worked? And she said, what? I said, the military organization. Our military and the way it's organized literally comes from the way Romans organized their military. That's how old it is. This is BC, guys. It's been working since BC. So why not adapt that into what we develop? So I now look at this and I go, okay, I'm going to treat the organization of a team as a platoon. So what do I mean by that? I come over here and I go, I'm the team leader. At some point, I'm going to get an admin. So I'm the team leader. At some point, I'm going to get an admin. And that's going to help me grow. Right? But they're an administrator. That's going to help me grow. And then one day, I'm going to add a team member. Team member. And that team member is going to help me out with deals. They're going to help me be on the street so we can double down on some deals. Right? Then one day, I'm going to add another team member. And for now, I'm going to be the mentor to these people. And then one day, I'm going to add another team member. And one day, I'm going to add another team member. One day, I'm going to have 4 team members, and I'm going to be doing business, and we're going to have an admin. And then one day, I'm going to look at these team members who have been with me ride or die, and I'm going to say, it's time for us to grow, but I'm going to need you guys to fall into a mentorship position. By the way, if you understand the military or know anything about the military, you can see what I'm building here. Platoon commander, secretary, 4 squads. So I bring in another agent and I put him under this person, then another one, this person, and another one, this person, another one, this person, another one, this person, another one, this person, and so forth and so on. And then one of these people, I'm going to move to this position right here. Why am I doing that? I call this team captain. That takes me from team leader to team general, team captain, squad leader, squad leader, squad leader, squad leader, squads. Now what happens? Everyone in this squad reports to this squad leader. This squad leader is an experienced agent who receives an override of 5% on everyone in that squad. So they belong to them. This squad leader gets a question one day that he or she does not understand. He or she goes to the team captain and says, hey, I need your help with this. I need you to jump in. Team captain handles these 4 people. These 4 people handle everybody underneath. Team captain gets an override on everything, by the way, because they hold the big spot. Team general barely gets bothered because there is a chain of command, and the chain of command works. This person cares about the outcome of these people, not only because they have been assigned the responsibility and they feel responsible for the success of these people and they care about it, but they're also financially invested because they know if their squad sucks, they ain't making money. Right? Same thing here, same thing here, same thing here. This by far has been the most optimal way that I have taught people to build teams. And I have coached a lot of people in building a team. And by the way, because of our transparency and the way we operate, this person all the way down here, this new agent, they understand the chain of command, so they never skip it. They also know that if they can't get along with this squad leader, they can come to the team captain and file a report, or just say, hey, I don't right, I don't get along with this person. And we'll say, no problem. Who would you like to work with? Oh, this person. Great. Let's move you to a different squad. Now we don't lose that team member on the team. We just put them in different position. Right? And then if I want to become a mega team, because I never put more than 4 people under one person, you can see that. 4 squads, team captain, right? 4 people down. Okay. 3 squad leader. If I want to become a mega team, that's a lot of people, by the way. If I want to grow this again, I take one of these people from down here who are showing that they have not only the 4 million plus, but that they have the potential to lead. And I bring them over here and we create a new platoon. And for now, that new platoon will report to the team captain until we grow again. But keep in mind, as this grows, this admin becomes the team manager. Because that admin is going to have marketing, social media, admin support, TC, so forth, so on. And so that admin that's been with you ride or die since the beginning, they get to become a team manager, higher paycheck, and they manage everyone that's there. So Michael is here. Michael's a virtual assistant, lives in the Philippines, been with me for 3 years. Say hi, Michael. Right? It's been with me for 3 years. We just hired a social media person and video editor and so forth and so on. She's amazing. Her name's Mizelle. Mizelle works under Michael. Michael works for me. You get what I'm saying, guys? Right? And so when I send messages to Mizelle, I always copy in Michael because I expect Michael to check her work and make sure that she understands how my brain operates because Michael understands it. He's in my head already. Right? And so you take care of the people that have taken care of you by helping them grow as well. And you put them in position to continue growth. All right, Betty, any questions? Was this good? All right, awesome.
Yes, actually, it's really nice. Thank you very much.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Okay, number 2. This was supposed to be speed dating, but obviously I was a little excited about that topic. All right, so buyer contesting rate objections. I love this one, right? Because here's the thing. What we have been using, and it has been working for us, is I talk to people and I say, the rate that you see today is not going to get any better. Here's why. If the interest rate goes down, what happens? We have more buyers on the market. We have more buyers on the market. What can sellers do with limited inventory? Go ahead, unmute yourselves. Let's talk.
Raise the price.
Raise the price. So price goes up. So my question to them is, what is your budget? They say $500,000. I said, all right, cool. Would you rather pay 6.8% on $500,000 or 5.8% on $650,000 for the same house?
Definitely the 6.8 on 500K.
Exactly. You want to owe less money.
Yes.
Right? By the way, if you do the math on this, we don't have time to do it now, but if you do the math on this, the monthly payment here is better than it is here, even though the interest rate is better. Here's the worst part. This down in percentage is not enough for them to qualify for this much more money.
Exactly.
So right now they qualify for 500,000. But if the rate goes down 1 point, then I say, won't qualify for 650 later on. you're going to still qualify for 500 because you're W-2 and maybe you're going to get a 1% raise next year. Right? So if that's the case, you're not going to qualify. Guess what that means? That means that you're going to buy a $500,000 house at 5.8%, but your house is going to be smaller. So you could have gotten this for this, but you decided to wait for this for this. So instead of the 4-bedroom, 3-bathroom that I showed you that you qualified for, now you're going to get a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom. And then you know what you're going to tell me when that time comes? I'm just going to wait. And then when you say I'm going to wait, I'm going to tell you, you know what? You probably should. Because in about 10 to 12 years, you might be able to buy a house. Because real estate is cyclical, but not that fast. Not that fast. Right? Betty, I think you were talking about it. What were the interest rates back in 98?
It was a great interest rate was in the 9.5. And then for somebody that didn't have, like with a little needing of help, it was around 12%.
Guys, why did I bring this up with Betty right now? Because 98-ish was around the same time that we had a very similar political interest rate, tariff, what's the other, inflation, all those things that we're talking about right now in the world. The last time all of those things came together was in 98. And interest rates were 11 to 12%. How long ago was 98? Well, like 15 years ago, right? 20 years ago. Something like that, right?
27.
27 years ago. Guys, look, listen, man. God, I just felt old. Oh, wow. Anyway. Wow. Holy shit, man. All right.
I just gave up my age too, so.
98, I was a sergeant in the Marine Corps, man. Let's go. You know? So think about that for a minute. 27 years ago was the last time we were in this situation. That's how a cyclical market works. What they're waiting for is for prices to come down. But if prices come down, interest rates are going to go right back up. Because that's how the world works. Because 2%, 3%, 4% was not normal interest rates. It's not good for the country. It's not good for the banks. It's not good for anybody except the consumer who's paying that monthly mortgage happy as shit, like me. Right? Listen, I bought $1 million house, 1.15. Okay? VA loan, got a 4% credit towards my house. Okay, actually 5% credit towards my house. I put my 3% commission into it, plus they gave me 2 more percent. VA loan, no money down, 2.7% interest rate. I came out of pocket $8,000 at the closing table. Why not?
You're actually making money off of this house. I'm
I'm loving it. Every minute. Every minute. The bank hates me, but I'm loving it. Well, and I don't want to tell you what I'm doing right now with the VA. I'm going to get it down to 2.5. You're going to see. All right. So this is how I speak to them. This is how I let them know what's going on in the world for real, for real. The other thing I say right now is we're in a unique position where properties are sitting on the market significantly longer. And because properties are sitting on the market significantly longer, right now, you have to act now before sellers get used to being on the market for 8 months. Okay? Right now, they're not used to it. There was a time where you just expected it. That's not the case right now because properties have moved so fast for so long. So right now, they're like, oh my God, it's been 2 months. You're not selling my house. What kind of realtor are you? Guy, it's condition of the market. But because of that condition, if you're a great negotiator, you go to the lender and you say, hey, I see you gave him a 6.8% interest rate. How much would it cost to take that down to 6.2? Okay? How much would it cost to take that down to 6.2? Let's say the lender says you can buy a 6.2 rate for $10,000. Cool. Mr. Seller, here's my offer. I'm offering $500K, 15-day inspection, $10K down in 3 days, another $10K in 15 days at the end of inspection, but I'm going to need a $10K credit from you to buy down the buyer's rate. So now you tell this buyer, I'm going to work to try to get your rate down, but you got to be willing to accept it if it don't get it done. Does that help? Yeah? All right, cool. Next topic. All right, so this is kind of the same thing. Talking to your sellers about the potential of having their rate and creating an assumable mortgage for somebody else, because that's going to help their houses move faster. You have to review their mortgage documents, which, believe it or not, most sellers don't have. So you got to tell them to call the mortgage company and get it. Okay. Once they receive those documents, you can go through the section of assumption. It can either be assumed or it cannot be assumed. Some of these houses maybe don't have a ton of equity. Maybe they have $30,000, $40,000 of equity. You could put that on the MLS and say, seller has a 2.8% interest rate and the loan is assumable VA. You must be a veteran and qualify for the VA loan, but you must make up the difference in cash. That's a win. That's a win, right? By the way, if you sit with your lenders, whoever your trusted lender is, and you say, if I had a seller and their mortgage could be assumed by the buyer, could you do a mortgage, a second mortgage, right, for the remaining amount in a certain amount of money? You know what the answer is going to be? Yes, they can, as long as the value is there. Every lender could do a first and a second. Every single lender. It's just not very attractive right now. But it could be attractive to somebody if their second mortgage was at 9%, but it's the smaller amount. And their first mortgage, they picked it up at 2.7, 2.5, 2.8. That's a win for that buyer. So sit down with your lenders and talk to them about it. And then when you put up a listing and that listing has an assumable mortgage, you say, if you need a second loan, you must talk to my preferred lender. Period in the story. You can't go anywhere else. Because I know my people can get it done. And you offer that out. But you have to have this knowledge. You have to sit down with them and have this knowledge. Because if you don't have this knowledge, then you can't pitch it. If you can't pitch it, then you're not beneficial to your buyer or your seller, I mean. Right? You got to bring the info to your seller. You got to know what position they're in. Okay? And they're going to tell you, by the way, because everybody's proud of their rates. I mean, I talk about my rate all the time. Right? I talk about my rate like it's one of my kids. Okay? They're going to tell you about it. The news. This one's a tough one. I'm going to give you a couple things you could do with this. Number one, have conversations with your clients and say, listen, the news is not your best source of information. I'm going to send you 2 websites where you could get news from and make it universal news. Stuff that has to do NAR and things like that. This is where you get real estate news. And explain to them, the problem with the news is that the left side has one story about what's going on real estate, while the right side has another story about what's going on in real estate. And they don't want to match up because, God forbid, they get along. Right? So if you listen to either side, it's all bad information. All of it. No one's right. So you say, how can I make sure I'm right? This is where you come in. In my opinion, you should be doing a video blog once a week talking about your market. Does not take long to do. Just put your phone like this, right? Betty knows this because she's been to my classes. You grab your Unipod. It's right here. Okay. Now you grab your phone, you hold it like this, and you do a quick video. And in that video, you talk about what's happening in the market right now, what certain things are happening, everything we coached on today. You could talk about every single topic. Okay. And just talk and say things to the camera that you feel people want to hear. Keep it at around 90 seconds. Okay. Have 3 important things: a hook, the first 3 seconds, content, and then a call to action. Right? So if we were talking about the news, my hook would be, are you tired of listening to the fake news about real estate in the market right now? And then I'd go into my content. And I would literally like just use my exact words. Here's the problem with the news in the real estate market. The left side says one thing, the right side says another thing. They don't get along, so they're not going to tell you the same story, which makes them both wrong. Here are some of the places that you can get the right information. Number 1, my channel. Tune in, subscribe, make sure that you see everything that I bring to the table on a weekly basis to keep you informed on the market in our area, whatever your area is. Miami, I'm in Miami. Right? And then number 2, the NAR website. The NAR website consistently puts up statistics on what's happening on a national level. However, what I will tell you is that locally here in Miami might be very different than what's happening across the entire nation. So number 3, call me into your house. Let's have a conversation about what's really happening in the market and what's happening locally, because real estate is hyper local. Done. Now I got my call to action. Click the link below and register and schedule an appointment with me, or hit me up on the DM so that we can have a conversation, or call me at 786-299-2532 and let's talk more about you get what I'm saying, guys? Right? You should be the source of news. People should come to you for news. Here's the crazy part. When you get really good at this, and when I say really good, I mean consistent. When you get really good and consistent on this, people will just tune in because they're going to want to know. Right? I'm Republican. Where do I get my news? Not Fox News, not CNN, none of them. You know where I get my news? From a podcaster, Ben Shapiro. Why? Because he's consistent. Every morning there's a new video. So every morning in the morning, I wake up while I'm brushing my teeth and stuff, and I listen to his weird, scratchy little voice. But the guy is like super smart. And so if I want to sound smart about the political world, I'm going to listen to a smart guy. And he's very clear. I'm way to the right. So if you want to know something about the left, I'm not your guy. I'm not your guy. Right? My wife listens to Ben, and then she turns on CNN. And then she turns on BBC because she wants to know what they're saying about us overseas. And she goes everywhere. She listens to the news in the Philippines. She listens to the news in other countries, in Spain, in Europe, to hear what the news over there is saying about us. And then she formulates her idea. As you can tell, she's much more analytical than I am. Therefore, she handles the accounts, the taxes, right? You know, right? And so that's how it is. So if you become that source that people can rely on, they'll stay off the news. I really don't watch the news. Not when I have a great source of getting information from. Okay? Building your database. All right. I'm going to spend a very quick minute on this because we're running short on time. Building the database. There's several ways you can build your database. Who was it that asked me about the database, by the way? I think it was Teresa, right?
Yes.
Okay. So there are several ways that you can build the database. By the way, we had a crazy great class in my office yesterday. Next time we do something like this, come on, swing by. You're in Miami, right?
Yes, I had a conflict, but I wanted to be there.
Yeah. All right. So try to come. We do it like once a month. Okay. So building your database happens in many different ways. One of the ways that you can do it is sphere of influence and family. Now, I know you say you don't know a lot of people here, but still, I'm going to bring this up. Whether your sphere of influence and family is local or in a different place, none of it matters, because we can do referrals and we can earn referrals. And so what I like to become is the centrifugal force of everything real estate for everyone that knows me. If you live in Spain and you're thinking about moving and you know me, I want my name to pop up in your head first. I want you to call me to ask me for who you should use in Spain. You understand what I'm saying? Like the other side of the world. And so I'm just being facetious and saying Spain, New York, where I have a lot of family and friends, Los Angeles, San Diego. I was in Marine Corps for almost a decade. I got friends all over the country, right? And so I reach out to them, stay in touch with them. If they are moving, they call me first. Hey, Dave, can you find me a trusted realtor in Boston? Hey, Dave, can you find me a trusted realtor in LA? Hey, Dave, I'm moving to Arizona. Can you find me a trusted realtor? I am the centrifugal force. And what happens when I give leads to other realtors? Those realtors go, damn, bro, thank you very much. I really appreciate you. Anytime somebody says Miami, I'm going to remember you. And guess what? Miami is a place where people want to be. So I get referrals. Let me tell you how well this works. I got an agent in San Diego just sent me a referral for $2 million buyer. I got an agent in Los Angeles that just sent me a referral for a buyer. They decided they wanted to rent. The rental is going to be $3,600, but he's only doing a 1-year rental because he has to be here for the next 5 years because he's getting stationed in SOCOM here in Miami. Okay. And next year, I'm selling him a house because he's in Guam right now. And I've been FaceTiming him, showing him properties, him and his wife. The guy even wants to send me money ahead of time. Like, hey, D, I want to send you some money just for helping us out. I'm like, no, I don't do that. I'll get paid. Don't worry about me. He appreciates that even more, surely. So next year, because I'm going to keep in touch with him just about every 60 days, next year, he's going to buy with me. It's a long-term game. My $2 million buyer, he's buying and he's moving here in January. Therefore, he's buying with me in November or December. But he'll be here next month to go explore neighborhoods. After we explore neighborhoods, we'll get down. Come October, we start looking for some properties, which means that in the fourth quarter of this year, I can look towards a $60,000 commission. Yes, please. Right? I'll take that all day. Thank you. Okay. Now, the next thing that we can do is paid advertising. I know you're going to hate this. This is my secondary option. If I've exhausted this, I come to paid ads. Because paid ads are going to send me people, and out of every 10 people, 2 are going to be good. And out of every 10 people, if 2 are good, and when I say good, I mean like 1 wants to buy now and 1's going to buy a year from now. I'm just being 100% with you. This is building a database. It's building a pipeline. I don't care when somebody's ready. You love them like they're ready tomorrow. Because next year shows up before you even know it. Okay? And you don't want dead spots in any months. You want to place people in every month for the next 18 months if you can. So that you always have business coming and closing, coming and closing, coming and closing. And for every person that I close from a paid ad, which by the way, you got to get really, really, really good in converting people that don't know you, don't like you, don't trust you, and just met you. And you got to convert them on the phone. And your number one mission is a meeting. That's your number one mission. Your number one mission is getting a meeting with this person. Okay? That means that everything you do on that phone should gravitate towards, hey man, can we sit down for a cup of coffee and really go down through the buying process here in Miami, Florida? And when that person becomes a client, they become what's called the past client. Now, this is where most people mess up. 80% of buyers and sellers said to NAR that they would reuse their real estate agent. That they enjoyed the process, they liked it, and they would 100% use that agent again. Only 20% of them knew who their agent was. Why? Because we don't follow up and we don't love on our past clients the way that we should. And NAR also states that if you kept a strong follow-up plan and developed a relationship with your past clients, that your past client would be good for 3 referrals over the next 20 or over the next 36 months minimum. That means that for every past client, for every closing you get, you should receive 1 more closing for the next 3 years from that one person. Which means if I close 10 people this year, I should expect to not only earn 10 people the same way I did that year, but to also get 10 more based on the statistic of getting 1 per year for the next 3 years. Which means next year, I should be able to do 20 deals. And the year after that, I should be able to get the same 10 clients the way that I know how to get 10 clients. And those 10 are going to give me another 10. And then these 10 are going to give me another 10. I should be able to do 30 deals down that 3rd year. If and only if I treat this past client like sphere of influence and family. If I call them, if I check up on them, if I remember their kids' names, if I know their kids' birthdays, if I follow them on social media and they buy a new car and I call them, I don't just post on social media, wow, your BMW is so pretty. Yeah, you want to post on there selfishly because you want people to find out who you are, right? But you call them. Hey, Teresa, man, yo, I saw your BMW on social media. Congratulations, it's gorgeous, beautiful. When'd you get it? Yesterday? Oh, it's amazing. Where did you buy it? The collection? Beautiful. I love that place. That's the one downtown, right? Yeah. Hey, man, you going to be home later on today? Absolutely. Let me swing by and check it out. Sure. You come by with a bottle of wine and you hang out for 15 minutes. And you just build on that relationship. And before you leave, you go, hey, listen, by the way, you know my business is selling real estate. So if anybody ever murmurs the word real estate around you, whispers it, murmurs it, yells it out loud, I want to be the person that gets in front of them. All I need you to do is put me and that person together on a text message. If you put us together on a text message, I'll take care of it from there. What did I do? I reminded them what I do for a living. I told them exactly how to give me the lead. And I gave them a call to action. By the way, Teresa, is there anything I can do for you? You good? You good, Teresa? Everything? Oh, you know, Teresa's good. You know what, Dave? Man, I got a leaky sink. I don't really know what to do about it. You know I'm not from Miami, Dave. What do I do about that? So I'm going to put you on a 3-way message. Same advice that I just gave them to do. I'm going to put you on a 3-way message with my plumber. He's amazing. He'll take care of you. Just let him know I sent you. Why am I doing that? The 3-way message does 2 things. 1, it helps my friend Teresa out with her leaky sink. 2, it tells my local plumber that I keep giving him business. And if he loves me, he's going to give me some business too. Right? That's how you're building this all up right here. And all I gave you, by the way, was paid ads and social media and sphere of influence and family. But this right here, this video and social media is another way. Because if you stay massively consistent, you will see people start to reach out to you with real estate questions. You'll see it. I've been coaching for a long time now. The majority of the followers that I have on social media are real estate professionals. If I want to sell a coaching program, I start pitching it hard on social media until I max out on the amount of people that I'm selling this coaching program to, and we go from there. Right? Sony wrote the money's in the follow-up, and it always is. It always is. And believe it or not, I'm going to tell you something else. The money might be in the follow-up, but guess where it's most conducive? Through email. If you just call your clients every once in a while, that's cool. That's a good step. At least you're doing that. But if you don't have an email campaign that shoots them an email every 1 or 2 weeks with something, just something, anything, a story that you tell, doesn't always have to be just listed, just sold. That shit's boring. No one wants to read that. A market update, some people read that. A new restaurant opened up in the area, most people are going to read that, right? That's a beautiful way of doing it, which leads me to the last final thing, Teresa. Small business love. Go to as many small businesses as you can in the farm area that you want to target and promote them. Promote them. Get on there and go, hey, listen, you know, I'm here Hey, I'm here at Pete's Pizza Shop. Right here on US 1 and 152nd. Guess what? I love the pizza here. And I want to introduce you guys to Pete. Pete, man, say hi to my audience. Hey, guys, how you doing? All right, great. Listen, guys, I was talking to Pete. Pete, how long have you been open? 20 years? Wow, that's amazing. And okay, I love your pizza, but what else do you make? Pasta, cookies? What? That's great. Cookies. I didn't know you had cookies. Pete, I'm going to make a deal with you. Pete, if somebody comes to the restaurant, they say, hey, I saw the video with you and Dave. Would you give them a free cookie for saying that? Pete's going to go, absolutely, I'll give you a free cookie. Don't cost Pete nothing to give him a free cookie as long as they're buying food, right? So when you come to the restaurant, come to Pete's Pizza, number one, buy yourself some pizza, buy yourself some pasta, bring the family, guys. And guess what? Cookies are on me. All you got to do is say you saw this video with me and Pete. If Pete gets enough business from that, do you think that Pete will show you love as well as a real estate professional? Absolutely. Pete's going to give you his business. Pete's going to give you his sister's business. Pete's going to give you his business partner's business. And the next time Pete is serving water at a table and he's listening to a real estate conversation, he's going to go, hey, you know, I know the best realtor in this whole city. Because you take care of Pete, Pete takes care of you. Now, you can't do that one time. You got to actually get pizza from Pete's place every once in a while. You got to show up. You got to say hi to Pete. You got to bring your family in at least once a month. You got to do stuff like that. Because it can't be a selfish move. You actually got to give a shit about this person's business. Small business love. Stay out of the Flanagan's, stay out of Chili's, stay out of Fridays, stay out of the big chain steakhouses, stay out of Texas, the Brazil, stay out of all those places. Texas and Brazil is an Argentinian steakhouse. Go to Google and say Argentinian steakhouse near me. And find you a small mom and pop that has the best steak in the world. Eat there and then go to the owner and say, who's the owner? Oh, that's John. Hey, John, listen, I just had this steak. It was incredible. Can I do a quick video with you and promote your business for you? I'm a real estate agent in the area, and people listen to what I have to say. Maybe I have to get some more business. Hey, by the way, John, if somebody comes and they go, hey, I saw the video with David and you, and they said that your restaurant was awesome, would you give them a free slice of tiramisu? Right? Would you give them a free flan? Is that cool? Would you do that for me? Right? That way you know if I sent you any business. And then do the video, share it, put some money behind it. In the meantime, just put $15, $20 on it for a week. Get some views on it. One day you're gonna make some money from all of this, and you'll put $100 behind it. Then you put $500 behind it. Then you just go crazy on that social media because it all brings you business. Then one day you go, I'm gonna hold a community event. Well, but all of this leads to the community event. Now I'm gonna do a market update on what's happening in the community. And I'm going to do this once a quarter. And I'm going to go door knock. I'm going to run ads. I'm going to send letters. I'm gonna have a plane drive by dropping off flyers into the streets. Everything I can to get as many people to this meeting as I can. And I'm gonna ask John to bring some pizza and promote his business at that community event. And then I'm gonna go to Pete, and I'm gonna go, or John's the Argentinian guy. I'm asking him to bring some dessert. Then I'm going to Pete and ask Pete to bring some pizza. And then when we start that meeting, I'm going to say, listen, guys, I have to say this. John's Argentinian Steakhouse and Pete's Pizza are here, and they're the ones who are feeding you today. I really love if you connect with these guys at the end when you're eating, tell them how much you love their food, and then take your families to go visit them one day. I'm going to give you a free cookie card on the way out from here, right? And help them earn business so that they bring you business, and then the two of you work together to create business together. By the way, all of this takes time. The fastest, most effective thing is that sphere of influence and family. That should lead to some paid ads. Those paid ads should turn into past clients. Those past clients get put in the same pot as the sphere of influence and family. And you just keep going like that. The trifecta. And everything else is an addition. Community event, the social media, the restaurant stuff, all of it is extra. All of it is there's a base for the pie, then there's some apples, then there's a crust, then there's some whipped cream. Like, this is the base of the pie. All right. Anybody got any questions for me? Was that solid, Teresa? Did you like that?
So good. Thank you, David.
All right, guys. Y'all take it easy.
Great. Thank you so much.